Hello friends, what's going on? Welcome back to this channel, Football Therapy, yeah? With me, your host slash post-press conference manager, Bearded Jan. Hope you're doing well, I really do hope that. And yes, this is a Chelsea news of sorts, but we're not in the studio today, we're in the press conference room because Chelsea played a match of football. They played the football and won in a London derby. That's right, Brentford, they're a good team. So what did you think? Did we score goals? Hot dog, we scored goals. 5 of the ruddy blighters. 5 goals! Kai Havertz hat-trick. Ha! He's been reading the news that Chelsea are looking at strikers and he thought, oh, I better pull my socks up here, score a hat-trick against Premier League opposition there. Now, this was behind closed doors. I don't have much details apart from that and a Wesley Fofana injury, which we're going to talk about today. Loads of updates and also a 90-minute article on a player that we are apparently signing, another teenage superstar. So thank you for joining me and thank you for your interactions. Please do consider dropping a like and subscribing, and I always urge you to comment. You're welcome to click join underneath the video to join the Goat Gang Club, etc, etc. And then now is the moment to bring up the microphones because I've sussed it. Chelsea will win the Premier League and score goals, yes, microphones, by playing all games behind closed doors. That's how you unlock Kai Havertz. Just don't televise the game or have people watching. There you go, microphones down. Sure, we might not enjoy it as much because we don't get to see it. Sure, it might cause problems in terms of generating revenue from the broadcast money. But football's about winning. Winning is sexy. Winning is paramount. Okay, well, yes, so Chelsea did indeed play a game at Cobham behind closed doors, and yes, they won 5-1. Kai Havertz, like I said, scored a hat-trick. There was a couple of other goal scorers. I did see them, but I'm now forgotten, and I don't have it up on my screen. But the point being is we scored a lot of goals. It was not a conventional football match. It was 3 halves of 45 minutes, obviously to give a lot of people a chance. Mason Mount didn't play due to a calf strain, but nothing serious, and Wesley Fofana came off injured, which caused some great deal of concern around the club, which is frustrating. Of course, a massive player, a favourite, but we'll have a bit more of a positive update, because apparently it's not as bad as originally feared. Reece James played 60 minutes and was totally fine, so I don't know how that works with 45-minute halves. I suppose he played 45 minutes, 15 minutes into the next half, and then that half an hour, and indeed the next 45 minutes, someone else played. Sounds a bit peculiar, but I guess when you're training or playing training games, you know, all bets are off. And it gave us an opportunity to play against good opposition in Brentford. Of course, local, they didn't have far to go. It was a West London derby, if you will, at Cobham. And yeah, Kai Havertz hat-trick. Now, this is good because I can't imagine he probably played like an hour of football and scored 3 goals against, again, opposition that's probably rotating themselves, but that's real positive, I think. You know, I don't know what to think about this lad. I think he's so talented. I think he's like unique. I think he's classy. I think he's the silky German. Potentially, it's just what we need. And yes, he won Chelsea the Champions League. But, you know, is he a striker? Isn't he? I feel like, was he even playing striker in this game? Was Aubameyang playing striker? And, you know, Havertz was like floating and ghosting him behind and doing the thing that he loves and just scoring goals. We don't know the details of that, sadly, but he's just frustrating. He could be so good. Some of the goals he scores are, you know, bellissimo. It's just great stuff. Anyway, I'm going to read an article from The Athletic quickly by Simon Johnson telling you about this game and the injury about Wesley Fofana, and then we'll move forwards from there because the player himself has given an update before hitting some transfer news because, you know, we're on the brink of it. Simon Johnson says, Chelsea defender Wesley Fofana has suffered a setback to his hopes of returning to the first team after limping off with a suspected knee injury during a friendly against Brentford today. The centre-back sustained the problem while playing a match staged behind closed doors, part of Chelsea's build-up to the season resuming. They won 5-1! Bang, bang, bang! But the victory was overshadowed by what happened to Fofana, and the West London club will have to assess the extent of a possible injury. The head coach, Graham Potter, is expected to address the issue when he holds a pre-match press conference on Friday. We'll, of course, cover that. Fofana, 22, only just 22, I think, as well as birthday, returned to full training for Chelsea earlier this month, and after recovering from a knee injury he sustained in October. This kid's had hard luck with injuries at such a young age, because he had that gnarly leg break as well after he was in scintillating form for Leicester. The Frenchman was involved with Chelsea's training camp in Abu Dhabi while the World Cup was taking place, and revealed recently he was ready to play. He's good to go. And, you know, what a player he is, ladies and gentlemen. He missed out on the place in Didier Deschamps' France World Cup squad after suffering an injury. I mean, yeah, would he have been? I guess he would have been, because he's a really, really top player. During Chelsea's, of course, a victory against Milan. He also opened the scoring in that match. God, yeah, both him and Koulibaly have scored for Chelsea really early in their Chelsea careers. Did we remember that Koulibaly volley against Tottenham? It seems like a million years ago now, but what a goal that was. News of a potential injury would be a significant blow. Okay, obviously joined for a lot. Following fellow centre-back Thiago Silva has resumed first-team training. Great. In the England trio, Sterling, Mount and Conor Gallagher have also returned. Right, well, okay, so at this point, we're all thinking, great, we absolutely slapped up Brentford. We scored 5 goals and everything's looking good and players are back, Reece James and Fofana. Then you feel a little bit sad and, you know, annoyed that Wes went off injured. But he's given an update, and there's a Instagram page that he follows called Team Fofana. Basically, it's a French-speaking Instagram page giving some encouragement and stuff. I don't know who that's run, but I guess that's just run by fans, and Wesley follows them. And he responded to this sort of encouraging, you know, positive message, and he said, nothing bad, champion. Oh, I think this is translated from French. So he's responded in French, and then it's been translated to English. He said, nothing bad, champion. In not even 1 month, we're back to break everything. 2 flame emojis. Not 1 flame emoji, 2. De fer. Which is great. So essentially saying, look, it's not bad at all. It won't be 1 month away before I'm kicking ass again. So massively, we can, like, you know, breathe a sigh of relief collectively together, because that is great news. He is a big player, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. Trev Chalobah's been great. You know, we've got other centre-backs. You know, if we play a back 3, Azpilicueta can play right centre-back. Trev Chalobah can play right centre-back. It's not like the end of the world. But in terms of just having that elite young talent that can go forward, that can do really high turnovers, like tackles in the final third, and be aggressive and look for a goal and just be a bit of a young superstar centre-back, you want Wesley Fofana and you want him fit. But it's good to hear that his fitness should be up, and the return to the team, he's saying less than a month. So I'm feeling pretty good about that, and hopefully you are too. So that really concludes the narrative of Chelsea's match against Brentford. 45 minutes, halves. Reece James returning, Wes Fofana being injured, but hopefully not that bad, and Kai Havertz scoring a hat-trick. So I'm feeling good. Hopefully you are too. I want to jump over now to an article from 90 Min by Graham Bailey, who's generally quite well informed with Chelsea stuff. And he talks about Chelsea's confident in securing a deal for a Brazilian. A young lad that we've actually referenced before on the channel. Chelsea are confident that they have won the race for Brazilian youngster Andre Santos. 90 Min understands. The 18-year-old midfielder was a long-term target for Newcastle United, who are of course now also a massive footballing behemoth, pumping money into the game and making sure they can get big targets. You know, Bruno Guimaraes was their first signing in the new regime, and what a player he is. And that was like the first one before they started flying up the table, before they started looking like, okay, they're going to be a Champions League club or whatever. So that's huge. So they were close to securing a deal with his club Vasco da Gama, excuse that pronunciation, after beating off competition from the likes of Paris Saint-Germain. PSG wanted him as well, so, you know, it's serious. However, as 90 Min confirmed, Chelsea and Barcelona, so this is a player that a lot of big teams want, have both made moves to try and win the race for Santos and the Stamford Bridge Giants. Every time I hear that, I'm like, now Todd Boehly owns Chelsea. When are we going to be called the Stamford Bridge Giants? Believe they are now well placed to seal the deal. Sources close to Chelsea have indicated to 90 Min that they hope an agreement can be tied up before the January window opens, at which point they will announce the deal. Seriously, this is like moving real quick. believed to be worth around £12 million, but possibly rising to £20 million, including add-ons. For Brazilian league teenager, the money's gone crazy now. I mean, Hendricks started that, hasn't he? But crazy stuff. The move would be the latest high-profile teenage acquisition for Chelsea since the Todd Bowley-led consortium took charge at the club last summer, following the likes of Carney Chukwuemeka, Amari Hutchinson, Gaga Slonina, and Cesare Casadei. Yeah, we're building an army, man. And further reports today are talking about Moukoko, how we could sign him as well. So that's another like super teenager. So there really is like, and then we joke about the team of the tomorrow, but it really does feel like we are building the teenage team of tomorrow to take over. Lots of alliteration there. Andre Santos is a player with a growing reputation, so this Brazilian kid, and recently earned a glowing endorsement from Vasco da Gama legend Juninho. He said this: Physically, he's a monster. Without the ball, his participation in the game is total. I wanted to see his GPS because he doesn't stop, and technically, he's way above the others. Wow, huge praise there. He's not going to be better than me. All right. Oh, so all right, mate. He's not going to be better than me. He's going to be much better than me. Okay, so it's a compliment. He's much more a complete player. At 18, I didn't play half as much as he does. I'm not ashamed to say that. Well, high praise indeed there. Woo! Okay, I mean, let's not put pressure on an 18-year-old kid. Let's just let's just let him grow into himself and develop. Well, clearly, look, man, if this young Brazilian midfielder, even without the high praise from Juninho, he's wanted by Barcelona, PSG, Newcastle, Chelsea, obviously, and Chelsea's hugely ambitious plans and designs for their future. They're only targeting what they do. I mean, Chelsea scouting was so different to what it was now under Roman Abramovich. Now we're really crunching the numbers. We're scouting massively in France and Brazil. I was looking at, some journalists on Twitter saying Chelsea are massively trying to isolate the French market, and there's so much talent coming out of France, get loads of the French youngsters, but as well as Brazilian ones as well. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. It's quite exciting. And by all accounts, if we're to believe this article by 90 Min, and I've got no reason not to, I think Graham Bailey is, a reliable and usually well-informed journalist. Yeah, it's another one done. Another one on the list. Another one ticked off. And Chelsea could be excited by that. So yeah, let me know what you think. Comments. Let me know what you think about the game that we won, that no one's seen, but we've heard about. And yeah, where's for fun? If you know about this kid, Santos, confirm. Let me know. I'll be keen to hear that. Soon he could be playing in the midfield next to Cesare Casadei and Chukwuemeka. Could be a midfield three of those. That's exciting in itself. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. Keep it locked, of course, daily videos, and I would love to see you here more often, friend. See you soon. Peace.